Getting this started. We're going to have all four blockers and both jammers from both teams get out there. We're going to see Scald Eagle taking the line for your Wheels of Justice.
She's going to be jamming opposite Hot Wheels for the Ri-Ettes. And we are underway. Scald Eagle trying to push out a four wall at the front of the pack.
Nice wall being set up by LA.
Nice defense by the Wheels of Justice at the front of the pack allows Scald Eagle to clear the pack with lead jammer.
Still incredible defense being laid down by the Wheels of Justice. The Riots trying to play some offense, and they finally get their jammer out.
Last line of defense, Gaither had to let her go. Scald Eagle around the pack on a scoring pass. 4 points and calls off the jam.
And that was a beautiful play right there by Scald Eagle. She hit that pack, got her points, called it off before the other jammer could make her way around and get any points scored.
Number 77, Much, taking to the jam line for the Wheels of Justice.
And it looks like Honey Brasco taking the line for your LA Riots.
Everybody hovering around that Ron Tonkin Fiat jam line. Ennis trying to get Much some offense up front. Much clears the pack on the inside. Lead jammer Wheels of Justice.
Wow. Honey Brasco in there right now. Took a big hit, and Knife ended up on the deck for it, but both of them in there trying to battle it out to get on through that pack.
That is Chestnut, the Blast Unicorn, and Ennis up front with defense. Much Mayhem now getting a little bit of offense from Penny D.
And Ennis in the back, drug her way back. Oh, but she's going to get the out-of-play penalty. She's going to be heading to the penalty box.
Ennis going to serve 30 seconds. Much cleared the pack on a scoring pass, coming around again for the Wheels of Justice.
Honey Brasco stuck behind a nice big two-wall. Little truck and trailer move by Penny D and Blast Unicorn.
Offense being played by Chestnut there, getting Much some breathing room. She's working through the pack once again.
Looks like they're going to go ahead and make it a foot race to the back. And Much picked up 4 points on that pass.
Nice job of track awareness by the Wheels of Justice there. Much calls off the jam as Ennis released from the penalty box. That's going to mean the Wheels of Justice start the next jam with a full blocking contingent.
Real strong defense by both teams being played right now. Shama taking her position and not letting anybody go there. Looks like they're going to go ahead and move up just a little bit. Shipley checking the track. We got an official review down on the track.
Looks like we may be trying to find out whether or not Ennis left the penalty box early or not.
Yep, that's what they're making sure of. There's 1 second left to serve, so Ennis is going to be hanging out for just another second.
That is Beaver jamming for the Wheels of Justice. Morningwood jamming for the Ri-Ettes. Through the pack, lead jammer Ri-Ettes. Beaver still working her way through the pack. Ennis with some inverse offense gets her free. Morningwood takes a big hit from Shipley with no R's.
And that jam comes to a very, very quick end. No points for the Wheels of Justice.
Well, fans, we would like to thank Black Cat Plumbing, your local neighborhood plumbing company and a proud part of the Rose City Rollers since 2009. That's Black Cat Plumbing.
Scald Eagle posed and ready for takeoff. She hits the back of that LA wall and is right on through the middle.
Whip and Ash having a hard time with Gaither, Ripley, the Blast Unicorn, and Scylla Devourer.
Yeah, Scylla Devourer is one heck of a juggernaut, but the rest of that wall is doing a great job of slowing down Whip and Ash on that line.
Ripley gets a little bit of offense in for Scald Eagle, who clears the pack on a scoring pass. 5-point grand slam, Scald Eagle.
And Nacho jumped out there trying to get a hit and just a miss by very, very slow little inches.
Elbow penalty assessed to Ripley. She is going to head to the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box. Scald Eagle on the inside rail. 4-point scoring pass.
That whole thing was orchestrated by Scylla Devour. She got on that inside line. She opened up that can, and it was nothing but a leisurely stroll in the park to get those 4 points.
Much returns to the jam line for the Wheels of Justice. She leads all scorers so far tonight with 9.
Both jammers are taking off. Much escorted out of bounds on that inside line. They're trying to take her on back.
Hot Wheels getting knocked out of the front straightaway by Rodriguez.
Oh, and Rodriguez, just a huge hit.
That is a direction of play penalty being assessed to Rodriguez. She is going to go sit in the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box for 30 seconds. Morningwood knocking Shipley out of the front straightaway as Hot Wheels has cleared the pack on her initial pass.
And Much gets on through. She picks up 4 points on her pass.
Shamma fighting her way through the pack. 2 points picked up by the Ri-Ettes.
OHSU Sports Medicine is proud to be an official medical care team of the Rose City Rollers. That's OHSU Sports Medicine.
4-3 pack advantage for the Ri-Ettes to start this next jam.
It's like a lot of positioning going on out there. Beaver is on that inside line trying to push through.
Bel Scorcho trying to get around Moffitt, and then Ennis, who knocks her to the inside.
Ennis, that was a beautiful hit by her to get a hold of that jammer.
Beaver fighting up front. Ennis, last second hit, knocks out Bel Scorcho. And Beaver clears the pack first. Lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
Now the reason she could get that lead jammer position is because of the work that Ennis did defensively down there.
Moffitt some nice positional blocking, and then Chestnut with the exit hit. Looks for the track cut penalty. Track cut is assessed to Bel Scorcho.
And we are in a power jam, and Beaver with a lead jammer out there.
Wheels of Justice have a 4-3 blocker advantage. Offense is active. Beaver now with 2 to beat up front.
Nice hit by Jackie Nimble out there trying to take her out. I'm surprised Beaver could contain composure, but she picks up 5 points.
Well, and that was Whip and Ash working with Jackie Nimble up front. Beaver around for another scoring pass. Grand slam, Wheels of Justice.
Now I like what Wheels of Justice have done. They've broken up the pack. It was 2 in the back, 2 in the front. Makes it real hard to play defense back there.
Screaming Beaver trying to accelerate a little bit of offense there from Ennis. Whip and Ash delivers one last hit, but a 5-point scoring pass for Beaver.
Bel Scorcho in the pack right now trying to get through. Chestnuts and Liquor are doing a great job defensively to shut it down.
Chestnut and Rodriguez doing a great job in the backfield for the Wheels of Justice. Screaming Beaver another 5 points.
Wow, that's a terrible twosome down there. Still, Chestnuts and Rodriguez in the back, not letting that jammer get anywhere.
Ennis giving Beaver a bit of offense. Beaver clears the pack for another 5-point grand slam.
Jackie Nimble's in the back now trying to open up that can to get their jammer through and was unable to get anywhere. And we had a disco for a brief moment there. Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery. John Landing's favorite eatery and saloon. That's the Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery.
Team timeout being called by the Ri-Ettes. We're going to kick it over to DJ Agent Meow for a Louis Armstrong Music Minute. You know, I'd like to thank Tally Hussey, our jam timer tonight. She communicates a lot of information to me, but I have to be paying attention. I originally noted that this was a team timeout, which it started out being. I just did not notice that she also told me that it was an official review. So now the king has gone down to the track to let you all know what's going on.
Yeah, I think everybody just wanted to come out here and have a little powwow, chat about it a little bit. No big deal. Nothing's happening.
Well, fans, remember we have got a humongous raffle coming up during the halftime of this bout. It is the Wheels of Justice plus Voodoo equals Love raffle basket. 144 Voodoo donuts, Woj signed posters, Voodoo Donuts t-shirts, a Woj Pegacorn t-shirt, Kind bars, assorted RCR merch, over $400 worth of stuff. Make sure you get those raffle tickets. They're $1 a piece or 10 for $5.
Well, I think everybody was ready for that timeout to get done.
Remember when that happened like 15 minutes ago?
Well, that's what happens when you get skaters full on adrenaline. They're all ready to play. They hear a whistle, they go.
Scald Eagle jamming for the Wheels of Justice. Honey Brasco for the Ri-Ettes.
And Honey Brasco, oh, she thought she could get through, but Shama said no, no, no.
Nice bridge work by Scylla Devour there, but they have to let Honey Brasco go.
Yeah, I thought she did. Shama picked up a penalty, out of play. You got to know where your pack is, and she gets hit with a penalty.
Scald Eagle calls off the jam, the benefactor of the no pass, no penalty. 3 points picked up on that jam.
Right now there's going to be a slight pack advantage, 3-4. Much mayhem on the line. Gory Spelling runs right up that inside line, and she is off to the races.
Much getting around the last line of defense there. That was Fleetwood Smack, clear of the pack on her initial pass.
Gory Spelling engages that wall. Rodriguez there to meet her. She gives a little love tap, and Gory Spelling calls off this jam.
2-0 score in favor of the Ri-Ettes in that jam.
Nightlife Lounge. Rose City Roller's favorite Clinton Street bar and the only place to get Rose City Roller ticks in town. That's the Nightlight Lounge.
Beaver on the jam line for the Wheels of Justice, 32 points to her total so far this evening. Opposite Whippin' Ash for the Ri-Ettes.
Whippin' Ash stuck behind Frenchie and is unable to get by. Oh, but she's running up that line. Oh, and French gets a piece of her and takes her out of bounds.
Moffitt and Chestnut both delivering big hits there, keeping Whippin' Ash in the pack on her initial pass.
So hard for a jammer. When you see the light of day, you think you're there, and then someone hits you.
Beaver now trying to get around Whippin' Ash, who's being held back by Shama, Chestnut, and Gaither.
Morningwood doing a great job right now on Beaver in the back. Defense is playing a key role in keeping the score low in this jam.
Cascading hits by the Wheels of Justice on Whippin' Ash. Shamma comes up for one last hit. Whip and Ash clear on her initial pass.
Morningwood and Honey Brasco were in the back there having such a great time playing defense. They didn't realize they were about 40 feet back. Had to catch back up with the pack. 3 points did get picked up by much. And right now we've got a score of 64-6. Wheels of Justice. We're going to have a complement of all 4 blockers out there on the track. We're also going to be seeing Scald Eagle out there. I believe she's going to be going up against Hot Wheels. And this, excuse me, that's a nice photo start there. They both jumped out, both of them. It's a foot race to the back of the pack. Scald Eagle's your lead jammer.
Jackie Nimble quickly through the pack for the Ri-Ettes.
So quickly she gets through. What a move that was. I don't know where she found the room in that apex, but you got to hold the line if you're LA. That was too easy for a Scald Eagle. Hope Baraka Realtor helping Portlanders buy and sell their dream house. That's Hope Baraka Realtor.
Much returning to the jam line for the Wheels of Justice, opposite Morningwood for the Ri-Ettes.
Much is out. She's your lead jammer. Morningwood still stuck in the back. Penny D, Mercy, and Ripley having a great time playing some defense back there.
Blast Unicorn cycles up front with Shamma, Ripley bridging out with Penny D.
She finally gets let go, and multiplayer block being called. Shamma headed to the penalty box.
Much calls off the jam after picking up 4 more points for the Wheels of Justice. Fans, we'd like to thank Shebop, a female-friendly sex toy boutique in Portland, Oregon. That's Shebop.
We're going to see Beaver out there on the line, and this time it is going to be Hot Wheels taking the SAR for the Ri-Ettes.
Beaver leads all scorers with 32 points so far tonight.
Both players engage that wall. They're trying to fight their way through. Hot Wheels getting taken out by Moffitt in the back.
Beaver pushes out lead jammer Wheels of Justice.
Hot Wheels still stuck in that pack. She's up against Scylla Devour, trying to work her way through. Oh, and Chestnuts and Scylla Devour get tied up down on the bottom.
Moffitt lobbying for the track cut penalty, did not get it. Beaver attacking the pack for the Wheels of Justice, getting some offense from Scylla Devour.
That was beautiful work down there by Scylla Devour. Beaver calls it off, picks up all 4 of her points.
Hey, King, there's going to be an after party tonight.
A party?
An after party.
An after party?
Indeed.
I hear it's going to be at the spare room.
I heard everybody's going to be there. You should be there too.
I think I'm going to have to be there. Everybody here has to buy me a drink, though.
Scald Eagle jamming for the Wheels of Justice. Honey Brasco for the Ri-Ettes.
Honey Brasco gets escorted out of bounds. She was trying to stay in bounds, but unfortunately entered and got the cut call. It's going to be a power jam.
Meanwhile, Scald Eagle, who some think are very good at roller derby, clears the pack on a 5-point grand slam. Wheels of Justice.
And they've got her slowed down in the straightaway. Shipley looking at that pack like she wants to eat it. Seen Sharks give that look before.
Very quick offense by Gaither there as Scald Eagle clears the pack for a 5-point grand slam.
And they've got their goat in the back.
Rodriguez, nice offense there, going in turn 4, 5-point scoring past Scald Eagle.
It always amazes me the footwork she uses to get through that pack. She can step to the inside, back to the out in no time at all.
Honey Brasco working her way through the pack. Gaither pops back out front along with Innes, and now Shipley getting into the mix as well.
Nice big swings and nice big hits. Scald Eagle brushes them off, and she picks up 5 more points. Well, Shipley picked up a penalty. She's going to be spending a little bit more time in the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box.
Ennis pops out to play defense once again. Gaither up to bridge. Honey Brasco clear of the pack on her initial pass.
And Knife was up there playing some nice defense. It's amazing the out of control that she looks like she's doing, but she's still hitting the whole time.
And a 4-point scoring pass for Scald Eagle as the wheels of justice cross the century mark.
Such fast derby being played out there right now. Honey Brasco did pick up 4 points on that pass, scoring pass.
4 points for Scald Eagle. Rodriguez headed to the penalty box.
Penalties right now playing a big role. You got a couple of blockers right now sitting in the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box for the wheels of justice.
Hurt Locker also reporting to the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box, and it looks like we've got an official review. Official review by the Ri-Ettes. Well, fans, I would like to personally thank Kind Bars, a brand of all-natural whole nut and fruit bars made from ingredients you can see and pronounce. That's Kind Bars. I've had 2 already this evening.
Well, what they're talking about right now, LA Ri-Ettes believe there was a cut, and that's what they're going to be discussing in this little powwow out here with the Stripes. So they've made a discussion. There is it will say as a no call. Play on.
So that means the LA Ri-Ettes no longer have an official review this half. That's much on the jam line opposite Bell Scorcho.
And I believe this is the first time they've gotten off that Tonkin jammer line, moved on up.
3-2 pack advantage in favor of the Ri-Ettes.
And much around the outside, and she's your lead jammer.
Bell Scorcho trying to work against Moffitt and Shama.
And Shipley's going to join in there. There's a big group of ladies I would not want to have to go against right now.
And a back block penalty assessed to Much. She is going to report to the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box.
Now, this is the exact type of opportunity that LA Ri-Ettes need to get back in this game. They need to take advantage of the power jams, get their jammer free.
Moffitt dragging Scorcho all the way to the back of the pack. Moffitt working with Rodriguez, Shama, and Shipley.
And that is just incredible defense being played out there. Moffitt and Shipley, Shama and Rodriguez tearing it up, escorting her way back into the straightaway.
Direction of play penalty being assessed to Moffitt. She will head to the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box.
And that's what you call a jam, power jam kill.
That definitely was a penalty kill there. 5-point scoring pass for Much out of the penalty box and through the pack.
And that looks like a high block being called on Shama.
Rodriguez and Shipley doing a great job in the backfield against Scorcho. Meanwhile, 5-point scoring pass, much mayhem.
Real slow pack right now. Lots of defense being played. And they're swinging for the fences every time they see a white shirt out there.
Shipley now the only blocker on the track for the Wheels of Justice. Knocks out Scorcho. Recycles her back a couple feet, and much mayhem clears the pack for another 5 points.
And it looks like a star pass. We've got a star pass out there.
Bell Scorcho passing the star to 8 a.m. Morning Wood. Much mayhem clears the pack for 4 more points.
They're getting out there real quick, looking for that Tonkin jammer line.
Well, fans, we'd like to thank Bridgetown Automotive. They're awesome mechanics. We trust them, and so should you. Check out Bridgetown Automotive.
This next jam is on. Eagle once again on that line, and she's off to be your lead jammer.
Jackie Nimble one to get around. That's Ripley at the front of the pack.
How she stayed in and upright from that hit by Ripley is beyond me.
Offense swarming for the Wheels of Justice. Scald Eagle takes advantage. Nice work on the inside rail by Ripley and Scylla Devour.
I'm really impressed right now by the look I'm seeing by the Wheels of Justice. Their offense to defense and then back again is right now flawless. They need to be able to maintain that, though, for the entire game. But if this is the way we're looking, it's going to be a great season for the Wheels of Justice.
Well, we would like to thank Twist Sport Conditioning Center, official training partner of the Wheels of Justice. Visit twistportland.com. Beaver on the jam line for the Wheels of Justice, opposite Sonic the Sledgehog for the Ri-Ettes.
Both jammers right now having a hard time getting through. They hit that apex, and they're still trying to fight through that wall.
Ennis thought she had a track cut drawn there, did not force her all the way out, though. Sonic the Sledgehog still working on the pack.
Ennis was out there. She did a great job getting Beaver through on that inside line.
Gaither and Chestnut, nice defense against Sonic the Sledgehog, who's still working on her initial pass.
And Beaver just like that. She got a hit by Honey Brasco, but she shrugged it off and picked up 5 points.
Chestnut continues the lockdown defense, but we have a multiplayer block being called.
And Beaver comes in hot, hits it hard, and works her way through for 5 more points.
Multiplayer block being assessed to the Blast Unicorn. She's going to report to the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box for 30 seconds.
Beaver goes around the outside. Oh, but she did. She picked up a back block. Came in too hot, little out of control. That's going to send her to the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box for a 30-second penalty.
Power jam for the Ri-Ettes. Sonic the Sledgehog trying to push her way through. Ennis delivering her to the inside of the track.
Ennis looking great tonight, defensively, offensively, and anywhere on the track she is.
Sonic the Sledgehog gonna have to start this pass once again. Exit hit by Chestnut, gonna recycle her back.
Hot Wheels out there trying to play a little bit of offense. They're grabbing some players and pushing them along.
Nice counter move by the Ri-Ettes, forcing the Blast Unicorn forward.
Yep, got the out of play call in the back. Got their jammer free. Well, for a second it did anyways.
Beaver now out of the penalty box and working on the pack on another scoring pass. Offense up by Chestnut. 3 more points for Beaver at the end of that jam.
I'd like to thank some of our very special sponsors, Portland Vital Signs, City Graphics, and Portland Independent Films. Thank you very much for being a league sponsor.
Much on the jam line for the Wheels of Justice, opposite to Schwartz for the Ri-Ettes. Much with 2 to beat up front, now 1, dances around lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
Still stuck in the pack, the Schwartz. But as I say that, she's out and off to the races.
Shipley and Scylla Devour doing battle at the front of the pack. Much coming around quickly. One to beat up front. That's Regulator.
What an incredible move by Much out there. I don't know how she managed to maintain that speed and cut on that track. Just angled away right around that corner. Well, once again, I believe we're going to see Gory Spelling and Scald Eagle.
Scald Eagle tied with Screaming Beaver, leading all scorers with 52 points tonight.
Gory Spelling just attacking the back of that wall. And Wheels of Justice taking it, not letting her get anywhere.
Scald Eagle showing off her toe step work right there. Lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
Honey Brasco did a real nice job down in there to open up that outside line. Finally got Gory Spelling out of there.
Well, Gory Spelling and Ripley had a nice battle going up front. Scald Eagle now working over the pack. Gets by Bell Scorcho. 4-point scoring pass.
Wisely calls off that jam. Gory Spelling was coming on around.
Remember, fans, the drawing for that huge Voodoo Donut raffle basket coming up at halftime. Make sure you get those tickets quickly. Beaver jamming for the Wheels of Justice. Hot Wheels for the Ri-Ettes.
Nice, slow wall being laid down by the Wheels of Justice.
Beaver pushes out the front of the pack on her way to lead jammer.
Hot Wheels rolling real slow right now, trying to fight her way through.
Chestnut and Ennis at the front of the pack. Nice defense. Beaver through the pack. 5-point scoring pass.
Hot Wheels still having a hard time getting through. Shama with a hip thrust, unable to make it. Hot Wheels is finally through that pack.
Wheels of Justice quick to regroup and go on the inverse offense. Beaver gets 2 points for her efforts on that pass.
Well, right now in this game, we are seeing some high scoring from both Screaming Beaver and Scald Eagle. Screaming Beaver right now sitting at 57 points, Scald Eagle at 56.
Up there at the front of the pack, that's the pivot line.
What? People actually play up there?
It's more mythical than a pegacorn.
You see Much Mayhem trying to find her way through the pack, and she's got that great footwork that I love to watch. She does get taken out by Honey Brasco, but Honey Brasco is going to pick up a penalty for that hit.
Gaither, Scylla Devour, Shipley, and Moffat working over Regulator in the back of the pack as Much clears the pack on a 5-point grand slam. Regulator now clear of the pack on her initial pass.
Much engages that wall, picks up her point, goes ahead and calls it off.
2 points on that scoring pass by Much. She got the 1 point on the track, courtesy of Scylla Devourer's offense, and 1 point for the skater in the penalty box. We've got an official review down on the track being called by the Wheels of Justice.
All right, Mr. Checks, what they're looking at right now is whether or not on that last jam, the Black Jammer stepped out and came back in, and there was a cut that maybe might have been missed. Refs are going to talk about it. The officials are going to review it. We're going to get right back to you. All right, after all that deliberation, the white wanted to have a call on the black jammer. Call stands as a no call.
That means that will be the Wheels of Justice last official review this half. And we get ready for the action on the track. We have an illegal procedure being assessed. Contact before the whistle. That's Fleetwood Smack gonna report to the penalty box, and Scald Eagle gonna report to lead jamming. Wheels of Justice. Jackie Nimble working on the pack for the Ri-Ettes. Scald Eagle taking advantage of the small pack there for the Ri-Ettes. 5-point scoring pass, Wheels of Justice.
Jackie Nimble up front right now, trying to fight past Ripley. And Ripley not getting fooled by any of your fancy little moves. She still is stuck in that pack.
Rodriguez and Penny D working over Jackie Nimble in the back of the pack. Scald Eagle clears the pack for 5 points.
Scald Eagle makes it through, makes it look easy. I do see a back block being called. Honey Brasco looks like the recipient of that call, and she once again is in that Pat Swervin penalty box.
Scald Eagle calls off the jam.
Bridgetown Chiropractic. Those of you sitting on the trackside are in the Bridgetown Boneyard, sponsored by Bridgetown Chiropractic.
Beaver jamming once again for the Wheels of Justice. Regulator for the Ri-Ettes.
Real slow pack right now being maintained. A little bit of offense. Almost got their jammer through, but still Devour was not fooled by it. Ennis is also up front, not having any part of it.
Big fighting going on in the pack. Meanwhile, Beaver taking advantage of the chaos, skating through for a 5-point scoring pass.
Regulator trying to get through. Finally gets on out.
Ennis reporting to the penalty box for a direction of play penalty.
Screaming Beaver up front, still trying to get through. She calls off that jam. 4 points being picked up. You know, I think it's Ennis's really unique skating style that can draw those penalties like that, but really the defense that she puts out, the offense that she puts out with those twists and turns and the backward skating, sometimes you're gonna get those calls, but man, gotta say it's worth it on all cases.
4-3 pack advantage for the Ri-Ettes to start the next jam. Much jamming for the Wheels of Justice. Whipping Ash.
She went ahead and she got out as your lead jammer. Whipping Ash still stuck in that pack. Moffitt and Nacho having a great time out there, trying to slow her down.
Shipley bridged that out for Moffitt and Gaither. Much working on the pack on a scoring pass, forced to call off the jam. Nice defense by the Ri-Ettes.
Yeah, Whipping Ash was flying around that pack to get back in there. I'm surprised they managed to call that off with enough time left on the clock. Speaking of time on the clock, we got about 23 seconds before halftime. We got 180 on the score for Wheels of Justice, 12 for the Ri-Ettes. Don't go anywhere. We got a fantastic obstacle course coming up at halftime. And get your raffle tickets, because we're going to be pulling the ticket at this halftime.
Scald Eagle jamming for the Wheels of Justice. Honey Brasco once again for the Ri-Ettes.
Both jammers are stuck in a wall right now, having a hard time trying to get through. Oh, and Scald Eagle is the lead jammer.
Nice bridging there by Rodriguez, allowing her teammates to help keep Honey Brasco in the pack. Honey Brasco, though, now clear of the pack.
Makes her way through, picks up her points, calls off that jam, and it's halftime.
Four to 3 blocker advantage for the Wheels of Justice now to start the second half. Again, if you're just rejoining us, an illegal procedure assessed to Jackie Nimble about 50 seconds ago, and she is going to start in the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box this half. Beaver jamming for the Wheels of Justice. That's Hot Wheels jamming for the Ri-Ettes.
Beaver's the first one out of that pack, and she's your lead jammer.
Penny D, Shipley, Chestnut, and the Blast Unicorn, your defense for the Wheels of Justice.
I believe it was Chestnut's got a hold of Hot Wheels, escorted her out, and she's almost had a full lap trying to fight through that defense.
5-point scoring pass for Beaver.
Beaver comes up, nice big hit on the back of that wall, trying to knock her way through.
Well, nice track awareness by Gory Spelling, starting the positional blocking. Beaver, though, clear of the pack. 5-point scoring pass, Wheels of Justice.
A lot of offense out there trying to get their jammer out. One player left to beat, and Hot Wheels, is out of the pack.
Hot Wheels getting an assist from one of her pack mates there. Beaver fighting up against a 2-wall at the front of the pack. She clears on a 4-point scoring pass and calls off the jam. Hey, King.
Yes, sir.
4K, no?
Well, poor K, yes.
Amazing taqueria food with 2 locations on Mississippi and Hawthorne. That's Poor K, no.
Poor K, no. That's a great taqueria right there. Wow, there's a lot of bodies right there in the middle of the track. Back block being assessed on...
That's Hurt Locker being sent to the penalty box. Jammer for the Ri-Ettes. Much in the Wheels of Justice in a power jam.
They set up in the sweet spot. Shama jumps in there, plays a little bit of offense.
Nice recovery, though, by the Ri-Ettes blockers. Much clear of the pack. 5 points, Wheels of Justice.
So Devour went right on through, but Moffitt was there to follow up. A little bit of offense being played, but it wasn't enough to get their jammer free. There's a half a track of skaters right now as they're trying to drag back that jammer.
Well, and speaking of old school, going the long way around the track.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes you kind of like skating laps.
That was a nice way to beat the bridge. Much clear of the pack. 4-point scoring pass, Wheels of Justice.
Hurt Locker right now in the middle of that track trying to force her way through. Great defense right now by the Wheels of Justice. Shama with a booty block slows her down enough to let the rest of the team catch up.
Nice truck and trailer move by Moffitt and Scylla Devour.
Much was through for another grand slam on that last pass.
Hurt Locker trying to muscle through a 4-wall.
And Honey Brasco got much in the apex. She's taking her back.
Out of play being called at the back of the pack. Hurt Locker clear on her initial pass.
And this pack comes to a dead stop and they call it off. Not after 4 points, so it gets picked up. Hey guys, did you know there was a big old after party tonight? That's gonna be at the Spare Room. It's a restaurant and bar located at 4830 Northeast 42nd Avenue in Portland. That's the Spare Room, where we're gonna have a great after party tonight. Both jammers right now engaged in the back of the pack, and Scald Eagle finds the inside line, picks up the lead jammer.
Regulator trying to push the wall all by her lonesome.
Right now, the Wheels of Justice content holding the front of that pack, and they're doing it well.
No pack called. Scald Eagle takes advantage. 5-point scoring pass, Wheels of Justice, but Regulator clears the pack on her initial.
And Gaither picked up a multiplayer, as Penny Dreadful also picked up an out of play. That's 2 great blockers out there that are going to be sitting in the penalty box to start this next jam.
Well, fans, we would also like to thank Kay's Lounge. Kay's Lounge, provider of the tasty nachos that you may have tried already this evening. That's Kay's Lounge.
Oh, such a quick start. Jackie Nimble, I thought she had it. She is the lead jammer. She went ahead and just called it off.
0-point differential. Ri-Ettes going to reset with that one blocker advantage.
Well, considering that they have a small advantage out there on the track, it's a good call for them to reset and get another opportunity at that. Screaming Beaver screamed right through the middle of that thing. She was out, even though Jackie Nimble had the lead jammer status. It's a good call off to protect those points from any more points getting on the board.
Much jamming once again for the Wheels of Justice. Whipping Ash for the Ri-Ettes.
Whipping Ash takes a tumble in turn number 1. Blast Unicorn, I think, helped her take that tumble.
Much Mayhem also gets recycled to the back of the pack. Ri-Ettes trying to get their jammer some offense.
Much Mayhem found a nice easy track right through the middle of it, and she's your lead jammer.
Blast Unicorn was negated, so was Shipley. Track cut penalty.
Oh, nope, they did not call it. One called it, the outside rep decided to overturn it. They're gonna let him play.
And another track cut?
Well, now they're still being kind of wishy-washy about it, so we'll see what happens there. I see Honey Brasco out there with a star on her helmet for the LA Ri-Ettes. Scald Eagle out there taking things very, very seriously for the Wheels of Justice.
And as we're starting this jam with nobody in the penalty box, it looks like those two track cuts were ruled to be no pass, no penalty.
Scald Eagle makes quick work of the defense of LA Riots. She's your lead jammer.
Honey Brasco muscles her way through the center of the pack. Exit hit by Shema. And then another exit hit by Ripley.
And Scylla Devar, she's going to be headed to the penalty box, picking up a penalty there.
Shema again trying to give Honey Brasco the bad end of the business. Honey clears the pack for the Ri-Ettes.
Scald Eagle also making her way through that pack. She picked up 4 on that pass. Wow, the bench over there playing it real close. They called it off right as she was about to engage the Wheels of Justice.
Fans, we would like to thank Left Turn Clothing. Left Turn Clothing, where fashion meets function, proud sponsor of the travel team and the High Rollers.
Left Turn Clothing, that's a great brand right there. Both jammers engage the back of those walls. Oh, and Screaming Beaver got picked up in the apex, but she managed to eke her way around, and she's out as lead jammer.
Morning Wood almost knocked Beaver to the inside. Beaver staying on her skates, though.
Ri-Ettes up front. Oh, she's getting the out of play call. She was really working over that jammer.
Well, Ri-Ettes was only a few feet out front there, but did pick up that penalty. Beaver calls off the jam. 4 more points for the Wheels of Justice.
Every time they start to get into a close position of scoring, they are quick to call off that jam, leaving them scoreless. A lot of times in the game of roller derby, they always give the big head nod to the jammers, but it's the defense out there right now for the Wheels of Justice that's making those scores happen.
Rodriguez jamming for the Wheels of Justice. Whipping Ash jamming for the Ri-Ettes.
That's the first time we've seen her in that jamming position today. Whipping Ash getting taken out in turn number 1.
Rodriguez through the pack lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
And they got her set up in a perfect position. That apex is the best place for a jammer to run around and score some points. Hard takedown in the apex. No pass, no penalty called, and there's 4 points on that jam.
Whipping Ash having a hard time getting around Penny D, Shipley, and the Blast Unicorn.
Now Penny D went for the big hit. Blast Unicorn was there to clean it up though if she missed.
Nice bridge by Ri-Ettes.
Where they finally managed to let her go. Whipping Ash is off to the races.
Track cut penalty being assessed at the end of that jam to Belle Scorcho. She's going to report to the penalty box.
Honey Brasco taking the line once again for the Ri-Ettes. Much for the Wheels of Justice with a star on her helmet. Just like that, Much right off the line. She jumps out, grabs the lead jammer status.
Honey Brasco in the backfield being held up by Ripley and Moffitt. Nice offense by the Ri-Ettes.
Man, that girl is fast. Much is already through and on a scoring pass, picking up 5 easy points.
Moffitt and Gaither working together in the backfield, holding back Honey Brasco, who goes to the outside. Multiplayer block.
Yep, that's on Moffitt. She's going to be headed to the penalty box and having a seat.
Much nice lateral movement, clears the pack for a 5-point scoring pass.
Nice slow pack, and that's going to benefit the Wheels of Justice right now as Much as re-engage that wall. She's already snuck through and picked up a few points and has 2 to beat.
Much muscles her way through the front of the pack, clears Gory Spelling for a 5-point scoring pass.
Man, that young lady has gotten so strong as a jammer and continues to grow with her ability.
Well, and you can definitely see the imprints of Rodriguez, who has been a tutor to Much in her jamming style.
Honey Brasco in the back. It looks like that defense is just wearing her down. She's still trying to find a hole to get through. Wheels of Justice just being relentless back there defensively.
Much showing off some of that great footwork. 5-point scoring pass, Wheels of Justice. Direction of play penalty being assessed.
That's Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels was really back there trying to play some offense and was busting up that defensive wall. Oh! Moffitt with a humongous drop on Honey Brasco.
Much around the pack, engaging once again on a scoring pass for the Wheels of Justice.
Much Mayhem making it look easy, but man, I'm telling you, she jumps from side to side until the blockers don't know which direction to look. Picks up 5 more points on that pass and a timeout being called.
We're gonna kick it over to DJ Agent Meow for a music minute.
Well, this timeout is coming to me. The jam will get started very, very shortly. We're seeing some real big scores out there.
We were also seeing Scald Eagle's impersonation of Jesus Feist on the track down there. That was pretty awesome.
In case you guys were watching earlier, Jesus Feist likes to jam, she likes to block, and she likes to dance.
Scald Eagle jamming once again for the Wheels of Justice opposite Jackie Nimble.
The offense out there was played, and they did it all at the same time while playing defense. Incredible to open that hole and get her through.
Scald Eagle through on the inside rail, 5-point scoring pass, Wheels of Justice.
You gotta have your head on a squillo if you're the defensive wall that's trying to slow down that jammer. And in that case, I think they were not ready for the speed in which Scald Eagle got around that track. S1 Helmets, they're a proud sponsor of the Wheels of Justice. And that's the kind of helmet you should be wearing. That's S1 Helmets.
Regulator up on the jam line for the Ri-Ettes.
Screaming Beaver once again taking the line.
Nice screen by Penny D. Beaver lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
I'm real impressed right now with the walls being set and the ability to jump on that to open up those offensive plays.
Regulator switching up, playing a little bit of defense. Beaver, though, through the pack, 5-point grand slam, Wheels of Justice.
Just piercing that wall and getting through too easy. Looks like a forearm being called, and that's going to be on Ennis.
Beaver hits the pack hard, quick to recover. Through the pack and a 5-point grand slam, Wheels of Justice.
Regulator's got one player left to beat, but that's Penny D. Penny pushes her out of play, and she's off.
Nice job by Penny D knowing that she was out of play, stopping the blocking, stopping impeding the opposing jammer.
They're setting up a great defensive wall. The Riots didn't want to let her through for any more points. They only gave her 3 on that pass. Well, we've got some heavy-duty scoring done by the Wheels of Justice. Screaming Beaver leading, Much Mayhem leading the way with 107 points. Right behind her, though, Screaming Beaver with 99, and Scald Eagle sitting at 93. Mike checks, I believe that tells the story of what the Wheels of Justice team here is doing.
That's a lot of points. Much Mayhem returned to the jam line for the Wheels of Justice. Whipping Ash for the Ri-Ettes.
Whipping Ash went up behind Scylla Devour, and she picks up that cut.
Nice play by Scylla Devour to draw that track cut penalty. Again, Wheels of Justice find themselves in a power jam.
Ooh, and a big hit from number 90, Marina Del Rage, knocking Much out of bounds on that.
Jackie Nimble trying to also force Much out of bounds. Much shrugs off the hit, though. 5-point scoring pass, Wheels of Justice.
Much Mayhem weaves from inside to out. Oh, but they got a piece of her. Jackie Nimble gives her a little bit of love.
Ennis being called for the back block penalty.
That's going to be 6 on her. She's got to be more careful with that. And just like that, Whipping Ash managed to get her way through. Much Mayhem calls it off, and they're still holding this team scoreless in this second half.
Well, now it does look like at the very end of that jam, Scylla Devour picking up a direction of play penalty. She will head to the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box and feel shame for 30 seconds.
Scald Eagle in the back. She's playing a little bit of defense. Does not want to let that jammer go. Holy smokes. LA Riots got lead jammer. That's Fleetwood Smack.
Fleetwood Smack getting some great offense from the Schwartz at the front of the pack. Scald Eagle now clear of the pack for the Wheels of Justice.
And Shama escorted her out of bounds. Fleetwood Smack picking up 4 points on that pass.
Nice teamwork by the Ri-Ettes in that jam.
You know, everybody up here loves it when the people score, especially when it's been a while. That's great job by the LA Riots. Start putting some points back on that board.
Screaming Beaver jamming for the Wheels of Justice. Hot Wheels for the Ri-Ettes.
Beaver took a little tumble back there in the back. Oh, and wow. Scylla Devour just demolished that wall. They've got another lead jammer. Hot Wheels is out, and she's your lead jammer right now.
Gaither heading to the penalty box for the Wheels of Justice. Hot Wheels fighting through that wall at the front of the pack.
Hot Wheels picked up a few points. She's still fighting to get through.
Still Devour and Moffat trying to work over Hot Wheels. 4 points for Hot Wheels on that jam.
I'm loving this. LA, they might be down, but they're putting up a nice little fight here. They're letting Wheels of Justice know they are not done in this game. Gaither over there feeling mighty lonely in the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box.
Pack advantage Ri-Ettes to start this jam, and Hurt Locker lead jammer Ri-Ettes.
The Riots have come alive here in the last couple minutes, getting another lead jammer.
Much Mayhem pushes out the pack, clears on her initial pass.
And she's cleared the pack. Rodriguez runs up to give a little bit of a love tap, ends up on the deck for herself.
Hurt Locker, 4 points, Ri-Ettes.
Bike Punk, locally printed, eco-friendly stickers, signs, and designs. Visit bikepunk.com.
Fleetwood Smack returns to the jam line for the Ri-Ettes. Opposite Scald Eagle for the Wheels of Justice.
Well, they opened up that hole, and just like that, Moffat Chestnut tried to get a hold of her, but Fleetwood Smack ain't having no part of that.
Scald Eagle attacking the back of the pack on a scoring pass. No points awarded to the Riots. 1 point for the Wheels of Justice in that one.
I'll give her an E for effort on that one. She tried to jump that apex and pick up those points.
We'd like to thank Big Brothers Big Sisters Sports Buddies. The Rose City Rollers is a proud Sports Buddies partner, encouraging young people to get active. Beaver jamming for the Wheels of Justice, Regulator for the Riots.
Screaming Beaver pushing her way up front. Oh, and she got the cut track.
Power jam Riots.
And right now, the LA Riots with a full head of steam and a power jam. They just need to get Regulator out of that pack. Shama headed to the penalty box.
Penny D and the Blast Unicorn trying to work over Regulator at the front of the pack.
And she's your lead jammer. Now they did a nice job in there trying to burn that penalty off. Regulator on a scoring position pass.
Ri-Ettes going active with the offense. Regulator trying to get around Penny D, Gaither, and the Blast Unicorn. 5-point grand slam for Regulator.
Portland Mercury, food, arts, and entertainment news that you need. That's the Portland Mercury. Scald Eagle right now trying to press up against that wall. I think LA has figured up she likes to take that corner up there and run on through.
Hurt Locker clears the pack lead jammer Ri-Ettes.
Scald Eagle running down that outside line, finally gets through that pack.
Hurt Locker hits the pack, calls off the jam. 2 or 3
maybe,
points.
Possibly, sort of, kinda.
2
and
points.
It's 2 points.
So hard to see sideways fingers sometimes.
Well, you know, he could have been, you know, giving you the peace sign or, you know, rock and roll, maybe a little bit of Aussie. Who knows?
Who knows? Much Mayhem returns to the jam line for the Wheels of Justice.
Much on that jam line. She's up against that wall.
And Fleetwood Smack clear of the pack. Lead jammer goes to the Ri-Ettes.
Fleetwood Smack really tearing it up here in the last few minutes.
Out of play penalty being called against Chestnut.
Much Mayhem finally out of that pack, and she's trying to work her way around.
Nice attack of the pack by the Ri-Ettes there. Fleetwood Smack. 3 points on the scoring pass.
LA Riots have all of a sudden just come alive and are tearing into the wheels of justice. Screaming Beaver, hitting the back of that pack and trying to push them out. Working her way around the outside, whipping Ash up against Scylla Devour, the last line of defense. Oh, and she escorts Scylla Devour out of bounds. Not something easy to do by any far stretch of the imagination.
Beaver pushing out Hot Wheels at the front of the pack. She is now clear on her initial. Scylla Devour being sent to the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box.
And whipping Ash in a scoring position right now. She gets taken out of bounds, calls it off, and picked up another peace sign from the ref. That's 2 more points. Scald Eagle once again on that line. She's going to be going up against Gory Spelling.
Scald Eagle making quick work of the pack. Lead jammer, Wheels of Justice.
I think Scald Eagle got tired of the constant lead jammer from the opposite team. She jumps out there and instantly gets it.
Well, Gory Spelling clear of the pack.
Scald Eagle engaged Bell Star, put Gel Star to the deck.
Scald Eagle clear of the pack. 4 point scoring pass, Wheels of Justice.
Gory Spelling stuck behind that wall. Scald Eagle's coming up around, running right on through like it ain't no big deal.
Gory Spelling stopping to play a little bit of defense, trying to hold Scald Eagle back. Now going up against Moffat at the front of the pack. Moffat with the exit hit.
Bellstar jumps in there, tries to play a little bit of offense. Scald Eagle now getting clogged up on that inside line.
Scylla Devour recycling. Gory Spelling to the back of the pack. Tried to draw the track cut. Still lobbying for it. Did not get the call.
Honey Brosco escorted her out of bounds, but they tried to take her back. Nice play, though, by Shama to jump over and not let them go anywhere.
And we have ourselves a cap pass. Morning Wood, recipient of the pass. 4 point scoring pass, Ri-Ettes.
Well, that put Scald Eagle over the century mark. She now sits at 108 points for this jam. But our highest scorer so far in the game, Much Mayhem, 120 points. And she right now has got a star on her helmet for the Wheels of Justice.
Much push to the inside, going to be recycled to the back by Bell Scorcho. Hurt Locker fighting at the front of the pack.
And Jackie Nimble right now on that apex. Tried to take her out of bounds. Much Mayhem jumped right back in and is in a foot race to the back of the pack. Wisely, LA called that off. Fleetwood Smack once again on the line.
And an illegal procedure being assessed to Scylla Devour. Another contact before the starting whistle penalty.
Well, sometimes you just want to be aggressive and violent. You know what happens.
Scylla Devour resembles that remark. Beaver working over the front of the pack for the Wheels of Justice.
And Beaver has worked her way from outside to in. She took that line, and she's your lead jammer.
Shipley joining Scylla Devour in the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box. Back block penalty being assessed to Honey Brasco.
Honey Brasco taking that's her 4th penalty here in the game. Nice slow wall up front. Fleetwood Smack having a hard time getting around. Chestnuts, though, stepped out of bounds, and she's finally got out of that pack.
Nice patience by Beaver on that last scoring pass. Picks up 5 for the Wheels of Justice.
Beaver gets through, calls on off, but picks up 5 points.
Well, fans, make sure you stick around before taking off to the after party. We're going to have MVP awards and probably photos and frivolity and fun.
There's a real interesting setup. 2 of the LA Ri-Ettes are down there on the Tonkin Jammer line, and they've got Gory Spelling bridging the pack there.
Now Gory Spelling pops up to play offense for Morning Wood. Morning Wood trying to get through the pack.
And that was a nice big hit out there by Scald Eagle to push her way through. Sonic the Hedgehog tried to face off and just got leveled.
Morning Wood finds room on the inside. She clears on her initial pass.
Scald Eagle easily runs up that inside line, picks up 4 points, calls it off.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is our final. We're going to double check, make sure all the points have been tallied correctly, but I think it is safe to say, ladies and gentlemen, your victors this evening, give it up for the Wheels of Justice! Like I said, fans, pleased to be sticking around. We will have MVP awards, and then we will expect to see all of you that are 21 and over at the after party tonight.
LA Riots, why don't you go ahead and take a lap 2? We're going to have an MVP coming up here in just a quick second. A lot of skater love down here on the track.
All right.
I am so jealous of my checks right now.
Well, you know. For the MVP tonight, for the LA Riots, the Wheels of Justice have chosen Honey Brasco.
Give her a big round of applause, everybody. That's fantastic. All right. For the LA Riots, who was your MVP for the Wheels of Justice?
Shipley.
Shipley. Give her the love. Everybody, thank you so much for coming out tonight. We really appreciate it. We had a great time. You were a great audience. From Mike Checks, myself, and the rest of the Rose City staff, thank you very much.